Hey everybody, Mike B here. I'm playing Dress Up in Mommy's Basement, one of my favorite things to do. Today I'm going to be making a really cool video about some of my collection, my personal collection. A lot of people want to see different things, and since we're on the topic of German helmets, or Stahlhelm, this was yesterday, and I made a video responding to another bigger channel's video about the Stahlhelm that had a lot of misinformation, and the fact that they didn't use an actual German Stahlhelm while talking about it. They used a Spanish Model Z, which is kind of whatever, so I made a video kind of commenting on that. So I figured, since I've been asked to show these in the past, and I got a couple recent acquisitions, especially this year, I'm going to be showing you guys my collection of original German Stahlhelme. I got all of them here, and I didn't actually know, I've never had them all in one place together, and I didn't know that I now have 12 originals, which is pretty cool. Some of these I've refurbished because I like to get helmets that are just basically the shells that are most of the paint is stripped off, or somebody repainted it at some point, so I can restore it back to the original configuration, and so on and so forth. So a lot of these are going to be restoration projects. The ones that were in decent shape I left alone, and they're all in original condition. So we'll get to that. I'll tell you the size and the manufacturer. Most of these fit me except for a couple of them, but that's not a big deal. Yeah, so we'll go through the manufacturer code, the size, and I'll just tell you a little bit about each helmet, what it means to me, why it's in my collection, and yeah, let's get started. So this first one, we've got an M16, obviously, the shell. It's the World War I German Stahlhelm. It's a size 66. I believe all my original German Stahlhelm are size 66. The Austral Hungarian one, which we'll get to, is not. So this is a really cool one. I've got a really high quality reproduction liner in here. I redid the outside, but I left the inside as I got it. It's actually in pretty good shape. This is my first M16 shell, and I restored it on the outside to use for reenacting in the future, and have not used it yet. But this is also I forgot which manufacturer this is. I cannot see the stamp because somebody painted over it, but I know it's a size 66. You can tell from the lugs and the shape and the size that it fits me. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then the second Stahlhelm I got was from a fellow reenactor who had a helmet shell that had a little bit of pitting, and there's a little, you can see through it a little bit, but this is a perfect reenacting helmet, and it's an example. And the price was definitely right for a size 66 shell. This is an SI 66, so I forgot the actual name of those companies. I'll make a whole other couple videos on the German manufacturers in both world wars. This is an SI 66. They've got the M1917 steel liner band with an ersatz chin strap because there was a massive leather shortage in Germany, especially in the later part of the war. So the 1917 to 18, you're going to see a lot of this ersatz equipment made out of cotton and other various materials. But I figured that was a pretty cool thing to teach people about that they might not have known, because most of the chin straps you're going to see on repros and stuff are leather. So there's my model 1917. This one's also refurbished. I got it. It was in kind of rough shape, so ended up refinishing this. So it's a neat restoration. Now, this is the only original untouched Stahlhelm that I have, and that is totally fine with me. This is one of my holy grails of German helmet collecting. I know most people want SS stuff and paratrooper helmets and stuff like that, but this, to me, to have an original size 66, I forgot the manufacturer. This is yeah, it's an ET, so Eisenhüttenwerke Thaler, which is one of the most common manufacturers. But the interesting thing about this helmet is that you can see the finish. I showed you in the video today describing some myths that were perpetrated in that other video. This nice shiny boiled linseed oil finish and that nice dark rich kind of duck hunter color that these were painted from the factory. This is the most mint shell myself and most of my other fellow helmet collectors have ever seen. Oh, sorry. I have this in there for when it's on its stand. It's okay, it's not toilet paper, it's paper towels. It just kind of keeps the stand directly off of the leather, which is actually in fairly rough shape. I don't know what the staining is, but the chin strap's in great shape. The liner leather is not in that great a shape, so it was used and worn at some point, but not for very long, it seems like, because that paint job is just immaculate. So this is a fantastic model 1917 helmet, and I'm extremely fortunate and thankful to have this in my collection. It's sat in a private museum for roughly 90 years in a small town out in the New England area. So this is one of my prized possessions. This is a fantastic helmet. I've never seen one in better condition, even in a museum. So, and it's also a very good color to base future helmet projects off of, so mixing paint and stuff. So that is one of my favorites in my entire collection. So yeah, we've got that. Next, I know it's an Austro-Hungarian helmet, but if you really want to get technical, the Third Reich and the Weimar days used a lot of these Austro-Hungarian M1917 helmets. This one's painted, not great. I did this a few years ago. I'm not happy with it. I'll eventually redo the color for the Azanzo Brown. But the cool thing about this shell is I did not pay that much for it, and it is a size 68, which is the largest size that they made for the Model 1917 and the Model 1916. These are extremely hard to find, and I did not really pay that much for it. It was from an older gentleman. He had been collecting at barns full of stuff for years, and he gave me a really good deal on it, and it's a really cool example to have. It's got a nice reproduction liner because it was just the shell. And yeah, this is a fantastic example too. It's very hard to get the any original helmet in the biggest size that they made, and this is in relatively good shape. So it had been painted over before, like with a German camouflage pattern, which is inaccurate, but other than that, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's my Austro-Hungarian M1917, these are actually fairly hard to find. Very cool. All right, now we're getting into the World War II stuff. I just have 4 original First World War helmets, and then now we're going to get into the World War II stuff. So this is another prized possession in my collection. Got this a couple years ago and made a couple videos right when I got it. This is a double decaled Army M35 helmet in size 68, which is my helmet shell size. Very hard size to find. They made 70s, a couple of them. But you're very hard pressed to see them, and apparently there's rumors flying around that they made 72. So this is one of the biggest sizes, if not the biggest size, that was going to be seen commonly, and it happens to be my size too. You can see on the inside it's got the original M35 kind of parade green or apple green they called it. Yeah, apple green paint, and then I'm not going to get into the details on this helmet because I already did that in a separate video. I can make another video too, but this thing was reworked. Somebody went through the effort of, it got worn so much that the decals actually popped through the paint when it was refurbished. Because you can tell the decals are painted over. Original liner that does not fit it. It's the wrong size, but I also postulate on that in my video on this a couple years ago. It's just titled My Double Decal M35. This is a fantastic helmet. Got this on gun boards a few years ago. And this person that was selling it gave me a really good deal on it, and it was fantastic. This is an NS 68. Yep, so that's a fantastic piece. I actually absolutely love this thing, and it's so nice to have an original M35, which are very hard to get, especially in that size, with original decals. The decals are actually legit. So, very thrilled with that. My other M35, this is actually the first German helmet I ever got. My parents bought this for me back when I was about, I think, 12 years old. 12? Yeah, I think I was 12 years old. They got it at an antique shop for about 50 bucks. Now, you'll notice right away, if you're a helmet collector, that it's a Norwegian reissue. It's got that nice light green paint, and then it's got the kind of purple or maroon liner. They coated it with like this kind of sealant stuff. And this is a size 57, so it's a size 64 shell, and it is this is an EF, Eisenhüttenwerke Fulda 64. So another common manufacturer, and I looked up the serial number on this in Brian Ice's book, and this is actually originally a double decaled hair helmet in this lot number and batch and everything. And this is in fantastic shape. So I know what happened was when I was a kid, I took the liner out to put a repro liner in it, and I lost the original split pins. Again, don't give kids expensive, cool stuff like this. It's not really smart. So what I'm thinking about doing is I will keep the liner and everything intact to show as an example of what the Norwegian reworks look like. But I might actually just get a high quality reproduction liner and just resurface this helmet in the original condition that it was in. I know you guys, leave an original piece of history. I get it, but I also want to have like an original, brand new looking example on an original shell. So that's something that I was considering doing because I've had it since I was a kid, and it is what it is. And the Norwegian kind of factor doesn't really do it for me. The decals are scraped off anyway. So anyway, it's my helmet. If I want to do that, I will, but I know there's going to be people screeching in the comments. No, leave it original, you're going to destroy history. It's already destroyed. But anyway, we'll get off that. So this one I acquired, I think, this year from a, I think it's a YouTube viewer, actually. And this is a single decal Q66, Quist. Yep, so Quist 66, it's not 68. A single decal Luftwaffe helmet. I love Luftwaffe helmets. I think they're great. I like the look of that decal a lot. It's really a great thing. Look at that nice original Luftwaffe blue finish on them, the textured M40 finish. This is a fantastic example. Unfortunately, the liner leather was a little bit rough when, and he fully disclosed everything. He also gave me a really good price. We came to an agreement. And so I ended up getting new leather, but I used the original liner band, and then I got a reproduction chin strap that would be correct for it. This is a fantastic M40. This is just in fantastic shape. I don't think I've ever seen one in person that's in that good a shape. So that's my single decal Quist M40 steel helmet, using as many original parts as possible, because if you saw the video when I first got it, it literally had just a little band of leather on it that was just not there, so it wasn't really worth it. So then I just got the leather, but yeah. Anyway, it's good to use most original parts that you possibly can, even though I said, but anyway, I'm kind of doing a rant. This is how I get, so my bad. Anyway, I'm trying to speed this up a bit. So this is a really cool story. I'll just tell it really quick. This is a single decal M42 Luftwaffe helmet that was probably sitting in somebody's attic or something for a while. Got a nice patina on it. The liner is not in that great a shape, but it's got initials KWO right there. Chin strap is broken, but the best part about this helmet, besides it being a size, yeah, this is an NS 62. So it's good to have a size 62, 64, 66, and 68. The only one I'm missing is a 60 to show just how small these are. Like, compare this to a size 66. It's very, or here, right? Why don't we just do the decal side? It's a lot smaller, and it's really cool to see this. So the best part about this helmet is it cost me $10. I had a helmet that another gentleman wanted back in the day. He collected American stuff. I collect basically everything, but I had an extra of a helmet, and we did the trade. He sent me this, so it cost me $10 in postage. Technically got it for free. But yeah, this has been in my collection. This is a great example, a nice used example of a smaller size. But the decal is still in very crisp shape as well for it being this worn. That's what was really cool about that. That's another really nice one. All right, I gotta stand up here a little bit. So this one is another one that I scored in an auction this year that was labeled as a Finnish rework helmet, and it's not. It's just an M42 with this nice kind of the finish on there is about 40%, but it's got a really nice kind of look to it. The shell itself is in great shape, and it's really cool because this is a, what size is this again? I'm pretty sure this is a 66. We went, oh no, it's in the back of this, yeah. So this is an NS 66, and the original liner and everything on there, and I only paid, I think, $125 for this because it was labeled as finished and nobody bid against me. This was a really good score this year. Did not expect to win this at all. But after much pressure from the commenters, it's going to just remain in the original condition like this. It's kind of rough. I'd like to restore it. But we'll get to the other ones in a little bit, and I'll explain to you why I'm going to leave this one original. So just a nice solid example of a nice size 66 M42 helmet. And it's still got the remnants of the dome stamp in there. I don't know if you can see it. I think I already put that on the video that I made about this. But that's a really cool thing, especially for the price. When the price is right, it makes it even better. Okay, so this one is a refurbished one that I did this year. This one is going to be used in the film Reveille. So this one I acquired the shell from Czech Republic. It's a size 68, and this is a, I believe this is a, I drew over edge of the character's name over the thing. I think it's an NS 68, but it's in fantastic shape, so I ended up giving it a new paint job. It was, painted black because the Czech Republic used them for their fire brigades for many years. And but it was also hard to get the size of this M42. But now it's just in really good shape. And like I said, this will be used in the film Reveille for one of the main characters. So stay tuned and check that out when you see that. It's really nice to have that big of a size in my collection because that is actually my World War II size. Now we've got another, this is, yeah, again, I painted over the thing. I believe this is a 66. Yes, this is I believe an NS 66. So this is also going to be used in the film. This was used in the trailer, the teaser trailer for Reveille back in September. One of the characters put mud on there. The decal's kind of off. But again, it's a nice big size. It's got a nice liner in it, nice reproduction from, I believe that's from Czech Republic or somewhere over there. And yeah, I've actually bought this one from the Netherlands. Somebody had already restored it, so I didn't actually do anything but put the decal on there, and it was done very well by who I bought it from. So it's a great piece to have. And the final piece is another, let's see the size. This is a CKL 68. Now, this is also going to be used in the film by one of the characters. I made it up into a single decal, and it's got the bread bag strap on it and everything in the mud. I think it looks pretty damn cool. But what's interesting about this one is I scored this at an auction recently, well, a couple months ago. And I mean, again, size 68 shells are very hard to come by. So I scored this at an auction. It was just the shell, and I got it for, it was like a not very widely known auction, so nobody bid against me. I think I paid, I don't know, 120 bucks total for like a $400 something shell that was in kind of ratty shape paint-wise. Somebody had put like fake SS decals on it and on the wrong side, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just going to restore this. But I did not know that it was a size 68 because they had no information. They just said World War II German helmet. I'm like, perfect, cool. I know that it's legit because of the shape and everything and the marking on it. But yeah, and when I got it, I sandblasted that area off of there, and it said CKL 68. So I don't have the lot number, but oh well. So this is going to be another one that's used, and then we'll be using these in subsequent films, and they're just part of my collection. I consider them part of my collection. Once I stop making films, I've got those. So anyway, those. Oh, and this one is a Finnish M4055. So that's why I have the cover on it. It's a size 66 in the. I mean, they're basic German helmets, but technically they're Finnish. So that's why I put the cover on here. It's not a real World War II German marked helmet. Although a lot of those actually were just scrubbed or weren't scrubbed and are actual World War II German produced or shortly thereafter. But that's a whole nother video that we can go over. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this. I really like getting my collection out once in a while. I like doing this with certain countries, certain styles of helmets. But obviously the Stahlhelm is everybody's desire, or most people's desire. It's mine. Obviously, I just love the shape. It's iconic. It's fun to have that cool piece of history. And it's cool to have these now that I'm starting to get involved in films and stuff like that. To have as props that are historically accurate. These are legitimate shells. We're going to be using legitimate shells in the film, so that's why those are all dolled up. I do have, kind of technically, sort of, I do have one more that you guys may have seen in the trailer. But my friend and fellow colleague, Baron Wittneben, who's playing Walter Brander in the film, he was in the trailer as well. He has one that I got for him. It's an M35. It's a size 66. Which is extremely hard to find, just like I was telling you. And I painted that up to be a North Africa, Sicily, Italy kind of a tan with double decals still on there. Some guys actually made it through most of the war with double decals if they were issued that early on. It's insane, but so anyway, it's really cool. If you want to check that out, go look at the trailer. I'll put a picture up here maybe if I remember to edit this and whatnot. But anyway, so that's technically one. But here's the thing: is he's pretty hell bent on buying it for what I paid for it. Once the film is done. So I don't consider it mine anymore. I'm just going to use that money to get another one for myself. But that's going to probably be his helmet. That's why I didn't have it on this video. And 12 is a nice even number. Anyway, I know this went long, guys, but I mean, 12 helmets in 20 minutes or thereabouts, I think it's pretty good. Now, a lot of these I was able to get through the help of my channel sponsors, I call them, my Patreon supporters and YouTube channel members. So if you want to do that and help me be able to get cool visual aids like this, so I don't end up like that other channel with using the wrong stuff, and actually helping you learn about these things and do that stuff. It really helps out if I get Patreon support and stuff like that, because then I don't have to fund it out of pocket as much, and therefore I won't be broke, and then I can, live without being in debt up to my elbows. Anyway, love this stuff, but yeah, if you want to do that, that's totally up to you. I really appreciate it. It's pretty cool on there. If you do $5 a month or more on either method of support, you get into my Discord server and whatnot, and pretty fun time there. Anyway. Also, just if you like this video a lot, share it out. It's educational and kind of see different models and different sizes and stuff. And they're all original. Yeah, people might like that. So anyway, you know what to do. You've been on YouTube for a while. It's been around for a long time now. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you. And let me know what you think in the comments. Which one is your favorite? Which one do you like the best? All right, we'll see you on the next video, guys.